Have you ever said it may rain and then wondered if you should have said it might rain instead? You're not alone. Even advanced English learners confuse these three words every day. But after today's lesson, you'll know exactly when to use may, might, and perhaps, just like native speakers.
All right, everyone. Let's start with the word you probably hear the most, may.
This little word is everywhere, at work, at school, in conversations, and even in weather forecasts.
The most common use of may is to talk about possibility.
Meaning something could happen, but you're not completely sure.
For example, it may rain later.
Will it rain? Maybe. Will it stay sunny? Maybe. Nobody knows yet.
Here's another one. She may come to the party.
She hasn't decided yet, so it's possible, but not certain.
Notice something important. Native speakers don't use may because they know the answer. They use it because they don't know the answer.
Exactly. It's the language of uncertainty.
Let's hear a few everyday examples. I may order pizza tonight.
Depends on how lazy you feel.
Very true. We may leave early tomorrow.
If the meeting finishes on time.
He may already be home.
Maybe. Or maybe he's still stuck in traffic.
Now, here's something interesting. Americans often use may when they're trying to sound a little more careful. Instead of saying, you're wrong, they might say, you may be mistaken.
That sounds much softer, more polite, less direct.
And that's something native speakers do all the time. They soften their opinions.
Quick pronunciation tip. Many learners pronounce it like meh. Not quite. Listen carefully. May.
May. The sound stretches slightly. May.
Repeat after us. May. One more time. May.
Okay, your turn. Imagine it's Friday afternoon. You haven't decided what you're doing this weekend. How would you finish this sentence? I may,
Maybe I may visit my parents.
or I may stay home and watch movies.
Or the most honest answer, I may sleep all weekend.
That sounds suspiciously personal.
I refuse to confirm or deny.
Here's a fun fact. If you start listening carefully, you'll notice weather reporters use may almost every day. It may rain. Temperatures may rise. Some areas may experience strong winds.
Because weather is all about probability, not certainty.
So remember, may equals possible, not certain, not impossible, just possible.
But now here's the question. If may means possible, then why do native speakers also say might? Is there actually a difference? Or are Americans just making English more confusing?
That's exactly what we're answering next. Let's find out. All right, now let's talk about the word that confuses almost every English learner, might.
Here's the big question. If may already means possible, why does English also have might?
Great question, and here's the answer. In modern American English, may and might are often interchangeable.
Yep, that surprises a lot of learners. Most native speakers don't stop and think, should I say may or should I say might? They simply choose whichever sounds more natural.
Listen to these two sentences. It may rain later.
It might rain later.
To most Americans, those mean almost exactly the same thing.
Now, some grammar books say there's a small difference. They say might can sound a little less certain,
For example, she may come sounds like there's a pretty good chance.
while she might come can sound slightly more doubtful. Maybe, maybe not.
But here's something important. If you use may instead of might or might instead of may, almost nobody will notice.
Let's hear some everyday examples.
I might stay home tonight.
Depends on my energy level.
We might go to the beach tomorrow.
If the weather cooperates.
He might be busy right now.
So maybe don't call him yet.
Here's a conversation you'll hear all the time. Are you coming to dinner?
I might.
Notice something. Native speakers often answer with just, I might.
They don't always repeat the whole sentence. I might come becomes I might. Short, natural, very American.
Quick pronunciation tip. Don't say me-gite.
Listen carefully. Might. The GH is completely silent.
Repeat after us. Might. Again. Might.
Now let's play a quick game. Bella, finish this sentence. This weekend I might...
I might finally clean my closet.
Will you actually do it?
I said might, not will.
Fair enough. My turn. I might start exercising tomorrow.
Tomorrow? That's the world's most famous promise.
I'll begin eventually.
Here's something fun to listen for. When Americans make plans with friends, they often avoid giving a direct yes or no. Instead, they say, I might stop by. I might join you. I might be there.
Because sometimes people genuinely haven't decided yet, and might keeps the conversation friendly and flexible.
So here's the simple rule. May and might both express possibility. In everyday American English, they're usually interchangeable.
Don't overthink it. Focus on sounding natural, not perfect.
But what about perhaps? Unlike may and might, it's not a modal verb at all. So why do native speakers still use it?
Let's find out in the next part.
All right. Now let's talk about a word that sounds a little different. Perhaps.
If you've watched British TV, read books, or listened to formal speeches, you've probably heard it.
And many English learners wonder, is perhaps just another word for maybe?
The short answer? Yes, most of the time.
Both perhaps and maybe express uncertainty. For example, perhaps I'll go. Maybe I'll go.
Same basic meaning. I'm not completely sure yet.
But here's the difference. Perhaps sounds a little more thoughtful, a little more careful, and sometimes a little more formal.
Well, maybe sounds casual. It's the word Americans use most in everyday conversations.
Listen to these examples. Perhaps we should leave earlier.
That sounds polite, like you're making a gentle suggestion.
Now compare it with, maybe we should leave earlier.
Also natural, just a little more relaxed.
Here's another one. Perhaps he's right.
You're saying, I think it's possible, but you're not saying it with complete confidence.
Now here's something interesting. In American English, you'll hear maybe much more often than perhaps.
So if you're talking with friends, ordering coffee, or chatting with coworkers, maybe is usually the more natural choice.
But that doesn't mean perhaps is old-fashioned. You'll still hear it in podcasts, presentations, books, movies, and polite conversations.
Quick pronunciation tip. Listen carefully. Perhaps, not perhaps.
The stress is on the second part, perhaps. Repeat after us. Perhaps. One more time. Perhaps. Let's compare all three words. May. It may rain.
Might. It might rain.
Perhaps. Perhaps it'll rain.
3 different words, one very similar idea. Nothing is certain.
Let's hear a natural conversation. Should we eat out tonight?
Perhaps, but let's see how busy the restaurants are.
Or more casually, maybe let's decide after work.
Both sound natural. They just create slightly different feelings.
Here's a fun challenge. Imagine your friend asks, are you free this weekend? How would you answer?
Maybe.
Or perhaps.
Or I might be.
3 different answers, all expressing uncertainty.
So here's the easy way to remember it. May, possibility. Might, possibility. Perhaps another polite way to say maybe.
Don't memorize complicated grammar rules. Instead, listen to how native speakers actually use them.
But now, what happens when native speakers use may for permission, as in, may I come in? That's a completely different meaning, and it's one every English learner should know.
Let's talk about that next. All right. Until now, we've used may to talk about possibility. But here's something many learners don't realize. May has another completely different job.
Permission.
Exactly. Instead of asking, is it possible? Now we're asking, is it okay? Listen to this. May I come in?
You're not asking if coming in is possible. You're asking, do I have your permission?
Another example. May I ask you a question?
Very polite. Very respectful.
Now here's something interesting. When children learn English, they're often taught, may I go to the bathroom?
Because teachers want students to ask politely.
But what do Americans actually say in everyday life?
Usually, can I?
For example, instead of saying, "May I borrow your pen?" most Americans simply say, "Can I borrow your pen?"
Instead of, may I sit here, they'll usually say, can I sit here?
So, does that mean may is wrong?
Not at all. It's completely correct. It just sounds a little more formal or more polite.
Think about these situations: talking to your boss, meeting someone important, giving a presentation, writing a formal email.
In those situations, may I sounds excellent.
Let's compare. Situation 1. You're talking to your best friend. "Can I use your charger?"
Perfectly natural.
Situation 2. You're speaking to the company president. "May I ask you something?"
Much more professional.
Here's another example. "May I have your attention, please?"
You'll hear that at conferences, airports, schools, and formal events.
Quick pronunciation tip. Listen carefully. May I. The two words almost connect together. May I, not may I.
Let's practice. Repeat after us. May I help you? Great. Now, may I come in? Excellent.
Now let's play a quick challenge. Imagine you're visiting your friend's house. You arrive at the door. What sounds more natural? A, may I come in? Or B, can I come in?
Honestly, both are correct. But with close friends, most Americans would naturally choose, can I come in?
Now, imagine you're walking into a job interview. Would you say, can I come in? Or may I come in?
Now, may I come in sounds more polite, more professional.
So here's the easy memory trick. May for permission sounds a little more formal. Can for permission sounds more casual.
Native speakers use both. They simply choose the one that matches the situation.
But here's something learners often ask next. If may and might are so similar, why do native speakers sometimes use might when talking about the past? That's where things become really interesting, and we'll make it incredibly simple in the next part. All right, now we're moving into something that sounds advanced, but is actually much easier than most learners think. Might have.
When English learners first hear it, they often think, oh no, another grammar rule.
But don't worry, this isn't about memorizing rules. It's about imagining possibilities.
Listen carefully. He might have missed the train.
Did he miss it? We don't know. We're simply guessing about something that happened in the past.
Here's another example. She might have forgotten my message.
Again, nobody knows for sure. You're making an educated guess.
That's the key. Might have doesn't tell us what happened. It tells us what could have happened.
Think of yourself as a detective. You're looking at clues, but you don't have the final answer yet.
Imagine this. Your friend hasn't answered your text all day. What's your first thought?
Maybe she might have left her phone at home.
Or she might have fallen asleep.
Or maybe she might have been busy at work.
Notice something. Every sentence is just a possibility, not a fact.
Let's try another situation. You arrive at a restaurant. It's completely empty. The lights are off.
What could you say?
It might have closed early.
Exactly. You're guessing based on what you see. Now, here's a mistake many learners make. They say, he might missed the train.
Native speakers immediately notice that. After might have, we always use the past participle. So he might have missed a train, not he might missed.
Let's hear a few more natural examples. They might have taken the wrong bus.
I might have left my keys in the car.
We might have ordered too much food.
That last one happens to me every weekend.
Somehow, it never stops you from ordering dessert.
Research is important.
Quick pronunciation tip. Listen carefully. Native speakers don't usually say might, have. Instead, it often sounds like might have.
She might have forgotten. He might have called. They might have left already.
Don't worry if you don't say it that way yet. Just recognize it when you hear it. You'll hear might have constantly in American movies, podcasts, and everyday conversations.
Quick challenge. Imagine your friend says, I can't find my wallet. What's the most natural response?
Maybe you might have left it in your car.
Or you might have dropped it at the store.
Perfect. You're not saying what definitely happened. You're suggesting a possibility.
So here's the easy memory trick. May and might talk about possibilities now or in the future, while might have talks about possibilities in the past.
But here's something learners ask all the time. Can we say may have too? And if we can, what's the difference between may have and might have?
Let's clear up that confusion once and for all in the next part.
All right, we've talked about may, we've talked about might. Now let's meet a word that surprises a lot of English learners. Perhaps.
Quick challenge. Which one sounds the most natural in a casual conversation? A. Maybe we'll order pizza tonight. B. Perhaps we'll order pizza tonight. C. Might we'll order pizza tonight. Take a guess. If you chose A,
Nice job, because that's what most Americans would naturally say with friends.
but here's the interesting part. Sentence B is also completely correct. It just creates a very different feeling. And sentence C, that's simply incorrect.
Today we're going to focus on perhaps, because many English learners hear it in movies, books, podcasts, and wonder, do Americans actually say this?
Bella, when was the last time you actually used the word perhaps?
Honestly, not yesterday, not last week, but a few days ago I was writing an email. Instead of writing, maybe we could meet next Thursday, I wrote, perhaps we could meet next Thursday.
Exactly. Same meaning, different feeling.
Perhaps sounds softer, more thoughtful, a little more elegant.
That's why you'll hear it more often in presentations, business emails, books, speeches, documentaries, and polite conversations.
Here's something interesting. If you listen to everyday American conversations, you'll hear maybe much more often than perhaps.
But if you watch interviews, read articles, or listen to educated speakers, you'll notice perhaps appears surprisingly often, not because it's difficult, but because it sounds a little more careful.
The good news? Perhaps and maybe usually have exactly the same meaning. They both express uncertainty. For example, maybe she's busy. Perhaps she's busy.
Both mean, we're not completely sure.
Let's practice. Which sounds more like two friends texting? A, perhaps I'll be late. B, maybe I'll be late. Answer?
Definitely, maybe I'll be late.
Because Americans usually choose maybe in relaxed conversations. Friends, family, text messages, phone calls.
But imagine you're speaking at a conference, or giving advice, or writing professionally. Then, perhaps sounds completely natural.
I'm thinking about changing jobs.
Perhaps it's the right time.
That sounds supportive, calm, thoughtful.
Now compare it. I'm thinking about changing jobs. Maybe it's the right time.
Still correct, just more casual.
Here's an easy way to remember it. Imagine 3 levels. Maybe, casual conversation. Perhaps, polite conversation. May, grammar and possibility.
Different jobs, different feelings, same basic idea of uncertainty. Many learners think perhaps sounds old-fashioned.
Not really. It's still used today, just not every 5 minutes.
Here's today's upgrade. Instead of always saying, maybe you're right, try saying, perhaps you're right.
Instantly, you sound calmer, more polite, and slightly more natural in formal English.
So now you know, may, might, and perhaps. But here's where many English learners still get confused. Sometimes Americans don't use any of these words. Instead, they say things like, I guess, probably, there's a good chance, and each one changes the level of certainty.
That's coming up next, and once you understand those expressions, you'll stop sounding like you're translating from your first language and start sounding much more like a native speaker.
All right, here's something that surprises almost every English learner. If Americans know the words may and might, why don't they always use them?
Because real English is full of alternatives. And if you only learn may and might, you might understand English, but you still won't sound completely natural.
Imagine your friend asks, do you think it'll rain today? Which answer sounds the most natural? A, it may rain. B, I guess it might rain. C, there's a good chance it'll rain. Take a guess. Here's the fun part.
Native speakers use all 3, but each one creates a different feeling.
Let's start with one you'll hear every single day. I guess.
This doesn't mean you're making a scientific prediction. It simply means, this is my best guess.
For example, do you think Sarah is home?
I guess she is.
Or, what time will they arrive?
I guess around 6.
Notice, you're not 100% certain. You're simply guessing.
Now let's move one step stronger. Probably.
This means you think something is likely, more likely than may or might. Listen carefully. It might rain. Maybe.
It'll probably rain. Now the chance feels much higher.
Another example. She'll probably be late.
You're still not completely certain, but you're expecting it.
Here's another expression Americans love. There's a good chance.
For example, there's a good chance we'll win.
Or, there's a good chance he'll call later.
That sounds confident, without sounding absolute.
Do you think Jake got the job?
I guess so.
Really?
Yeah, there's a good chance. He did really well in the interview.
Listen to how certainty changes. He might come. Small possibility.
He'll probably come. Much stronger.
There's a good chance he'll come.
Also strong, but a little more conversational.
Your turn. Your friend asks, will you finish your project today? Which answer sounds most confident? A, I might. B, I'll probably finish it. C, there's a good chance. The strongest answer is, I'll probably finish it. Here's something interesting. Native speakers don't always choose words because of grammar. They choose words because of confidence.
If they're unsure, they say, I guess. If they're fairly confident, probably. If they want to sound conversational, there's a good chance.
Think of a confidence ladder. Might, down arrow, may, down arrow, probably, down arrow, there's a good chance.
The higher you go, the stronger your confidence becomes.
Now here's one final challenge. Can native speakers use may, might, perhaps, probably, and I guess in one single conversation without sounding strange?
Absolutely. And in the next part, we're going to show you exactly how they do it in a completely natural American conversation. By the end of that conversation, you'll hear all these expressions working together naturally instead of as separate grammar rules.
All right, you've learned the rules. Now let's do what really matters, a real American conversation.
As you listen, see if you can catch every expression we've learned today. May, might, perhaps, probably, I guess, and there's a good chance. Keep scoring your head. Ready? Let's go.
Hey, Ryan, do you have any plans this weekend?
I might go hiking. I'm not completely sure yet.
Really? I thought you were staying home.
I was, but my friends invited me yesterday, so I may join them if the weather stays nice.
Speaking of the weather, I checked the forecast this morning. There's a good chance it'll rain on Saturday.
Really? Then I guess we'll have to make a backup plan.
Perhaps you could go on Sunday instead.
That's actually a better idea. What about you? Any plans?
Let me guess. You'll probably stay home with a book. Hey, how did you know?
Because every rainy weekend, you somehow become a professional reader.
That's true. I might also watch a movie.
By the way, have you finished your presentation?
Almost. I'll probably finish it tonight.
Good. There's a good chance your boss will love it.
I hope so.
Imagine your boss asks, "May I see your presentation?" Would that sound strange?
Not at all. That's actually a very polite way to ask, especially in a professional situation.
Exactly. Now compare that with a friend saying, "Can I see it?"
Both are correct. They just fit different situations.
Okay, one last question. Do you think we'll record another podcast next week?
I guess so.
Only, I guess? Not, I definitely will.
Well, there's a good chance, but you never know.
All right, everyone. How many expressions did you hear? Did you catch may, might, perhaps, probably, I guess, and there's a good chance?
If you recognized all of them, fantastic. That means you're already starting to hear English the way native speakers actually use it.
But we're not finished yet. It's time for the Talk Bella Native Speaker Challenge. 10 quick questions. No pressure, just real practice.
Don't worry if you make mistakes. Every correct answer builds your confidence, and every mistake helps you remember the lesson even better. Let's see how many you can get right.
All right, it's challenge time. No notes, no translating, just trust your ears.
We'll give you a sentence. You choose the most natural answer. After a short pause, we'll explain why. Ready? Let's begin.
I'm not sure if Sarah's coming. Which sounds more natural? A, she may come. B, she might come.
Actually, both are correct. But in everyday American conversations, you'll probably hear she might come a little more often.
Your teacher asks, blank, I come in. A, can. B, may. Both are correct, but in a formal situation, may I come in sounds more polite. Choose the better sentence. A, maybe he's busy. B, perhaps he's busy.
Both work, but if you're talking with a friend, maybe sounds more natural.
Complete the sentence. I don't know where Jake is. A, he's probably at work. B, he's probably at work.
Correct answer, he's probably at work. Don't forget the verb is.
Someone says, I'm really tired today. What's the most natural response? A, me too. B, perhaps.
Definitely, me too.
You're making a guess about yesterday. Which one is correct? A, she might have forgotten. B, she might forgot.
Correct answer, she might have forgotten.
Always remember, might plus have plus past participle. Which one sounds the strongest? A, it might rain. B, it'll probably rain.
Usually, it'll probably rain, because probably shows more confidence.
Which sentence sounds most natural? A, perhaps I'll text him. B, maybe I'll text him. You're texting your best friend.
Most Americans would naturally say, maybe I'll text him.
Your friend asks, will you come tonight? You aren't sure. Which answer fits best? A, I definitely will. B, I might.
Perfect.
I might. Short, natural, very common. Final question. What's the most natural American sentence? A, there's a good chance we'll win. B, there has a good chance we'll win.
Correct answer, there's a good chance we'll win. You'll hear this expression everywhere in everyday English.
So, how many did you get right?
8? 9? Maybe all 10. No matter your score, you just practiced English the same way native speakers use it.
Think back to the beginning of today's lesson. At first, may, might, and perhaps probably looked almost identical.
But now, you know they're not just grammar words. They're tools that help you express different levels of certainty, different levels of politeness, and different emotions.
And that's exactly how fluent speakers think. Not, what's the grammar rule, but what's the most natural thing to say right now?
Keep listening, keep practicing, and before long, you won't just know English. You'll start thinking in English.
If you enjoyed today's lesson, give this video a like, subscribe to Talk Bella, and in the comments, write one sentence using may, might, or perhaps. We'll read as many as we can.
Thanks for spending time with us today. We'll see you in the next Talk Bella lesson.
Until then, keep speaking smart and keep speaking English.